Welcome to a Telltale Books video. I'm Greg. I'm here to talk about the next in my Theodore Sturgeon series. Still going through the short stories that he did for syndicated newspaper publication before he ever wrote his first science fiction story. This one is number 6, titled One Sick Kid. It's a short story published in April 29th, 1939 for the McClure newspaper syndicate. The story is pretty basic. You have a young man working on a ship out at sea, and he gets severely seasick. And to the point where a Coast Guard cutter has to come out and get him off the ship and get him back to shore to a hospital to receive medical attention. It's a very short story, kind of a slice of life sort of thing. Not really, has a little bit of a twist to the end, but otherwise it doesn't have a lesson or anything to it like Fritz Leiber's stories of that sort before he started writing fantasy. It's very well written though, and very interesting. I mean, it's not what I usually go for. It's definitely not what I read Theodore Sturgeon for. And yet I liked it. It was really good. Too short to be great and too incidental to be great. So not a top tail, but it's just really cool to see the quality of writing that Sturgeon was doing before he published his first science fiction story compared to the other authors of this time period that I'm reading, like James Blish and C.M. Kornbluth, or even Isaac Asimov. Sturgeon was already at this time, with his 6th published story, a very, very good writer. Now, I'm reading these in The Ultimate Egoist, Volume 1 of the Complete Stories of Theodore Sturgeon. I bought this new, was published by North Atlantic Books. It's no longer available as a new book. It is available used, but a little pricey at this time. But if you love Theodore Sturgeon, if you really love Theodore Sturgeon, you have to collect this entire series. I think it's 13 volumes they published before they got them all. It's an amazing collection of books. Essential, and I absolutely love it. Some of my very, very favorite books in my collection, and a really cool illustration. I'm not sure how it relates to Theodore Sturgeon yet, but it's a very cool, kind of surrealistic illustration, kind of pastoral looking. So very nice cover on that book, and it's just a collection of this one's all of his earliest works, and he wrote quite a few of these super short stories before he wrote any science fiction stories. Like I said, this one's number 6. His first science fiction story was Ether Breather. It's number 18 on my list, so I'm only a third of the way through to his first science fiction publication. And the next Sturgeon story I'll be talking about is His Good Angel. That was published on May 12th of 1939. And like I say, these are not typical Theodore Sturgeon stories. This is not what we remember Sturgeon for. Okay, these are very different from More Than Human or Ether Breather or any of his other famous science fiction fantasy stories. They're not science fiction fantasy. They're not horror. They're not anything like that. So I guess I would only recommend this to the Theodore Sturgeon completists. But like I say, they are very well written. It's worth your time finding them and reading them. It really is. They're nice little stories. So with that, I hope you'll like the video, subscribe to the video, leave comments about Theodore Sturgeon in the comments, but limit it to just this comments about these early Sturgeon stories or stories you can relate about Theodore Sturgeon. I don't want to hear about anything else. Okay. Just keep it on topic and come on back for more Theodore Sturgeon. Like I say, his Good Angel is the next one coming up. And join me for that and all the other content that I do here on Telltale Books.